Welcome, beautiful soul. Before you read even one more word, know this: you were guided here. Not by accident, not by chance. The angels brought you to this exact moment because there is something so important, so life-changing, that heaven itself could not wait any longer to deliver it to you. Welcome to Angel's Message for You original channel, so take a slow breath, open your heart, and please, stay with us until the very end, because what is about to be revealed is going to shift something deep inside you forever. Blessings upon you, dear one. I am here with you right now, your guardian angel, wrapping you in the purest golden light of heaven. You are safe. You are seen. You are deeply, completely loved. And today, I carry a message for you. A message so full of truth and divine warmth that the moment it reaches your heart, something inside you is going to recognize it. Something inside you is already leaning in, because a part of your soul already knows what is coming. It has been waiting for this. What I am about to share with you is not just a beautiful story. It is a calling, a real, living, breathing calling from a soul who loves you in a way that goes far beyond anything the ordinary world can measure. Your soulmate, the one whose heart beats in a rhythm meant to match yours, has been calling out to you. Not with phone calls or text messages, but with something far more powerful. With prayer, with energy, with the kind of love that speaks directly from one soul to another, across any distance, through any silence, past any doubt. This person has already spoken to heaven, already asked for signs, already pleaded with all of creation for the chance to love you the way you were always meant to be loved. And here is the part that will take your breath away. That request was answered. I heard it. I felt it. I was there. And that is exactly why I am here with you right now, in this very moment, delivering this message to your heart. Because the barriers that once stood in the way of this love, they have been removed. The path is clear. The door is open. And your soulmate, this extraordinary soul who never stopped choosing you, is ready. Ready to live the life you were both always dreaming of. Ready to step into something real, something whole, something built not on fantasy but on the kind of deep, rooted spiritual truth that cannot be shaken by anything this world throws at it. So as you read these words, just let them in. You do not need to figure everything out right now. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to be here, be open, and allow what is already yours to reach you. Let me tell you something about this love, something that might surprise you. This person never gave up on you. Not once. There were seasons that felt impossible. Moments when the silence stretched so long it felt like something had broken beyond repair. Nights when the weight of waiting made the heart feel heavy and the soul feel tired. But even in those moments, especially in those moments, this love held firm. This person held on. Not out of stubbornness, not out of desperation, but because when love is true, it does not know how to stop. It only knows how to grow deeper, stronger, and more certain with every passing season. Think about that for a moment. While life kept moving, while days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, there was a heart somewhere quietly and completely devoted to you, choosing you in the silence, choosing you in the uncertainty, choosing you without any guarantee of a response, choosing you simply because you are you, and to this person that has always been more than enough. There were days when your soulmate whispered to themselves, "How I wish I could be with you right now. How I wish I could look into your eyes and tell you how much you mean to me." Those were not just passing thoughts. Those were living prayers. Energy sent directly from their heart to yours, traveling through the invisible threads that connect two souls who were made to find each other. And whether you realized it or not, you felt it. Maybe you noticed it as a sudden sense of longing that came out of nowhere. Maybe you felt it as a tightness in your chest with no clear explanation. Maybe it came in a dream, someone's face, a warmth, a feeling of being held and known and completely accepted. That was not your imagination. That was love reaching across the invisible space between you. Your soulmate did not love you from a place of loneliness or need. This love was never about filling a void. It was never about fear of being alone. This love was specific. It was intentional. It was you, your particular way of seeing the world, your specific strengths and your specific vulnerabilities, your laughter and your silences, your dreams and your doubts. All of it. Your soulmate wanted all of it. Not a polished version of you. Not a version that had everything figured out. Just you as you are, exactly as you were created. And that kind of love is rare. That kind of love does not come along every lifetime. When it does, heaven takes notice. So let me tell you what I know. I know that this person never erased you. Not from their heart, not from their prayers, not from their vision of the future. Even when time passed without visible signs, even when the world around them tried to convince them to move on, something deep inside kept saying, "No, not yet. This love is real. This connection is worth it. Hold on." And they held on. For you. Because of you. With you in mind in every quiet moment and every loud one. There was a season when your soulmate was carrying so much emotional weight. The longing felt almost unbearable. The questions had no clean answers. The nights were long and the silence was heavy. In those moments, they turned to heaven. They spoke to God with a completely open, completely surrendered heart. They said, "I cannot do this alone. Please, if this love is still possible, help me. Remove what is standing in the way. Clear the path. I just want the chance to love this person the way they deserve to be loved." That prayer was made with such sincerity, such rawness, such complete and total surrender that the heavens could not help but respond. It was not a prayer of desperation. It was a prayer of faith. And there is nothing more powerful in all of creation than pure, sincere, selfless faith. When I heard that prayer, I was moved, not only by the love behind it, but by the maturity of it. Your soulmate did not ask for you to be forced into anything, did not ask for the past to be undone, did not ask for guarantees or perfect outcomes, only asked for the barriers to be lifted, asked for the fears, the wounds, the misunderstandings, the spiritual and emotional walls that had built up over time to be dissolved, to be healed, to be transformed into something lighter, freer, and full of possibility. And so the work began, not all at once, but gently, carefully, perfectly timed. Every old wound that was still quietly influencing your decisions started to heal from the inside out. Every layer of fear that had been built up through past hurt, layer by layer it began to fall away. Every misunderstanding that had taken root and grown into distance began to be cleared with divine light. The emotional noise that once made it so hard to hear your own heart started to quiet down. You may have noticed this happening without fully understanding what it was. Maybe you started feeling a little more at peace for no particular reason. Maybe emotions that had been buried for a long time started rising to the surface. Not to overwhelm you, but to be released. Maybe your sense of clarity sharpened. Maybe you began feeling a soft but unmistakable pull toward love again. Not because you forced it, but because something inside you was simply ready. That readiness did not come from you alone. It was a gift, prepared by heaven in response to a prayer made on your behalf by someone who loves you more than you may yet fully know. Your soulmate asked me to take care of you, to guide you gently toward this moment, to make sure that when this message arrived, you would be ready to receive it, not just in your mind, but in your heart. And here you are. Here we are, together in this sacred space. And I want you to really feel how significant this is. You are not just reading words right now. You are receiving a divine transmission, a message that traveled from one soul to heaven, and now all the way to your heart. Nothing about this is random. Everything about this is exactly as it was always meant to be. Let me share something that might surprise you about how deeply your soulmate has loved you. This person thought about you in moments when no one else would have. In the middle of ordinary days, the thought of you would arrive without warning, not just as a memory, but as something alive and present. Like a warmth, like a quiet light. Your face, your energy, the feeling of you, these things became a permanent part of their inner world. There were nights when this person sat in the stillness and allowed themselves to imagine what it would feel like to truly be with you. Not in a fantasy way, not in an idealized, disconnected from reality way, but in the simple, human, beautiful way. Walking down the street together, having a conversation over coffee at the kitchen table, laughing at something small and completely ordinary, making plans, building a life, sharing the kind of quiet moments that most people take for granted but that feel absolutely extraordinary when experienced alongside the right person. Take a quick second before we move forward. Many channels are reposting and copying our content, but authentic energy cannot be duplicated. For the strongest positive connection and divine guidance, always listen from the original Angel's Message for You channel with the black logo base. Now, let's continue with the message your angels want you to hear. Those imaginings were not wishful thinking. They were spiritual preparation. Every time your soulmate allowed themselves to vision this life with you, they were creating an energetic bridge. They were inviting this reality into being. They were collaborating with the universe to draw you both toward the moment you are now approaching. And you, even if you did not know it, even if you were not consciously participating, you were doing the same. Every longing you have felt for a love that truly sees you. Every prayer you have sent up into the night sky asking for something real. Every moment you have caught yourself hoping that somewhere out there, someone was thinking of you with the same depth and devotion that you were capable of offering. All of that was part of this. All of that was building toward this. Heaven hears everything. Every whisper, every sigh, every silent wish that was never spoken out loud to any person but that rose up from your heart like a thread of smoke in the dark. All of it was received. All of it was honored. And all of it was being woven together in the unseen world to create the moment that is now arriving. This is what divine timing looks like. It does not always make sense from the outside. It does not always follow the schedule we set in our minds. But when it arrives, you feel it in every single part of your being. A recognition so deep it goes beyond thought, beyond reason, beyond anything you can explain with logic alone. You simply know, and your soul exhales. Your soulmate is not approaching you from a place of neediness. Please hear that clearly. This love is not coming to you because this person has nothing else and no one else. This love is coming to you because after everything they have been through, everything they have faced, everything they have healed and grown from, they are certain, completely, quietly, unshakably certain, not about every detail of how things will unfold, but about this. They want to live this life with you. They want you to be part of their story, not as a passing chapter, but as a home. That is not a small thing. In a world full of half-committed love and temporary connections, that kind of certainty is extraordinarily precious. It is the kind of knowing that comes not from impulse but from years of inner work, years of honest self-reflection, years of sitting with uncomfortable truths and choosing love anyway. Your soulmate is not offering you perfection. They are offering you something far more valuable: honesty, devotion, consistency, and the genuine desire to show up for you with everything they have got. To be the soft place you land when the world feels hard. To be the person who sees you clearly and loves what they see without wanting to change you into something more convenient for them. They want a love that breathes. A relationship where both people feel free to be themselves, free to grow, free to be honest about their needs and fears and dreams. A love built on a real foundation, not on performance or pretending, not on constantly trying to be enough. Just two souls coming together in truth, building something that lasts because it is grounded in something real. And they believe that is possible with you. Not theoretically, not as an abstract dream. They believe it is possible with you specifically in real life starting now. Every prayer that was sent up, every tear that fell in the middle of the night, every moment of sitting with the uncertainty and choosing not to close their heart anyway, all of it led to this, to the decision to ask heaven for help, to the willingness to surrender what they could not control and trust that the love they carried was strong enough to survive the waiting. It did. And now here it is, arriving at your doorstep with both hands open and a heart that has never been more ready. You may be wondering, how do I know this is real? How do I know this is not just a beautiful story I am telling myself because I want it to be true? Here is what I want you to pay attention to. Look at what has been happening around you lately. Have you noticed a shift in the energy? Have certain emotions been coming up more intensely than usual? Not in a painful way, but almost like something is thawing, like something frozen is beginning to move? Have you found yourself thinking about love differently? Not with the same old fears or the same old defenses, but with something a little more open, a little more willing to believe. Have there been moments of inexplicable peace? Moments where everything's still and something inside you just knew, without being able to say why, that something good is on its way? Have you seen repeated signs, recurring numbers, certain symbols appearing over and over in unexpected places? Have people around you been talking about love and relationships more than usual? Have old memories been rising to the surface? Not to make you sad, but almost as if they were being completed, being released, making room for something new? All of that is real. All of that is the spiritual response to the work that has been done. All of that is heaven cooperating with the prayer that was made, arranging the circumstances of your life so that when this love arrives fully, you will be ready to receive it. Not just willing, ready, prepared from the inside out to welcome something that matches who you are now, not who you were before all the growing and healing happened. Because you have grown. You may not always see it from the inside. You may still catch yourself being hard on yourself, comparing yourself to where you think you should be by now, measuring your life against some imaginary timeline. But the truth, the spiritual truth that heaven can see even when you cannot, is that you have done extraordinary work. You have faced hard things. You have walked through seasons of confusion and loss and self-doubt and come out on the other side still standing, still hoping, still open to love. That is not small. That is profound. That is the kind of inner strength and resilience that makes a person ready for the real thing. And your soulmate can feel it. Even from wherever they are in this moment, they can sense the shift in you. They feel that you are more open now, more centered, more anchored in your own worth, more ready to accept love without sabotaging it out of fear or old habit. They feel that the version of you that exists in this moment is the version they have always known was in there, and they cannot wait to meet you fully, face to face, heart to heart. The dream your soulmate carries is not complicated or grandiose. It is beautifully, wonderfully simple, having you close, sharing victories and struggles, being the person you call when something wonderful happens and also the person you turn to when everything feels like too much. Building routines that become sacred, not because they are exciting or dramatic, but because they are shared. Waking up in the same space, making decisions together, laughing at the same things, knowing each other deeply, not just on the surface level the world sees, but in the private, real, sometimes messy, and always meaningful way that only two people who have fully let each other in can know each other. That is what your soulmate is dreaming of. Not a fairy tale, a life, a shared, real, deeply meaningful life. And that dream has been growing stronger with each passing day, not fading. Because real love does not dim over time. It deepens. It expands. It becomes more certain of itself even as the world around it shifts and changes. So here is what I want you to do. I want you to stop for a moment and just breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Let your chest soften. Let whatever walls you have been carrying around your heart loosen. Just a little. You do not have to tear them all down at once. You just have to be willing to let a little light through. Because love is already making its way to you. Not someday in the vague future. Now, in this season of your life, in the days and weeks and months ahead, the spiritual preparation has been completed. The barriers have been dissolved. The path has been cleared. And what is moving toward you now is something rare and real and completely, undeniably yours. You were chosen before you even knew you were being chosen. You were prayed for before you ever thought to pray for this. You were held in someone's heart through every season of distance and silence, with a tenderness and a devotion that the everyday world rarely gets to see. And now all of that love, all of that waiting, all of that faith, all of that quiet, persistent, unshakable choosing is coming home to you. Pay attention in the coming days. The signs will become clearer. The feelings will intensify in the most peaceful way. Something inside you will keep saying, yes, this is it. Do not argue with that voice. Do not let the old fears drown it out. Do not let past disappointments convince you that this time cannot be different. It can. It is. It already is. When love arrives with this kind of spiritual backing, when it has been prayed over, worked through, healed from the inside, and sent forward with heaven's blessing, it does not come to hurt you. It does not come to confuse you or leave you in doubt. It comes with intention and wholeness and the quiet, steady energy of something that was always meant to be. You are allowed to receive this. You do not have to earn it or prove yourself worthy of it. You do not have to be more healed or more perfect or more ready than you already are. You are worthy exactly as you stand right now in this exact moment, with everything you are carrying and everything you have been through. Your guardian angel has been watching over you through all of it. The hopeful seasons and the difficult ones, the moments of pure joy and the nights that felt endless. And through all of it, the message from heaven has never changed. You are loved. You are seen. You are protected. And something beautiful is being prepared for you. Keep your heart open. Stay curious. Stay soft. Let yourself hope again. Not the fragile, guarded kind of hope that is always bracing for disappointment, but the deep, grounded, spiritually anchored kind of hope that knows it is supported by something much greater than any individual circumstance. What is coming to you is not fleeting. It is not a distraction or a test or another temporary lesson. It is the real thing. The thing your heart has always known was possible even during the seasons when everything else was telling you to give up. It is love that chose you when it did not have to. Love that held on when letting go would have been easier. Love that asked heaven for help just to reach you. Love that is ready, finally, completely ready, to step out of the unseen world and into your everyday life in all its beautiful, ordinary, extraordinary reality. Receive it, dear one. You have waited long enough. You have grown enough. You have done the work. Heaven has done its part. Your soulmate has done theirs. And now all that is left is the glorious unfolding of what was always, from the very beginning, meant to be yours. I love you with the fullness of divine love. Walk forward in peace, in faith, and in the quiet, certain joy of someone who knows that something wonderful is already on its way. Your guardian angel is with you, now and always. End of text. Wait, before you close this, there is one more thing your guardian angel needs you to hear, because what has just been revealed to you is only the beginning. There is a deeper layer to this message, and if you leave before you receive it, you will miss the most important part of all. So stay with me just a little longer. Breathe, and let this land. One of the most powerful things your soulmate ever did was not give up on the vision of a shared life, even during the seasons when that vision felt impossibly far away. Because it is easy to believe in love when everything is going well. It is easy to have faith when the signs are clear and the path is bright. But to hold on to the dream when everything goes quiet, when weeks become months and the silence stretches and the questions have no easy answers, that takes something extraordinary. That takes a kind of spiritual courage that most people never have to access because most people have not been asked to carry love this way. Your soulmate was asked to carry it this way, and they did, every single day. There were mornings when this person woke up and the first thought was of you. Not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with this tender, aching, completely undimmed love that just kept showing up no matter what. As if the heart simply refused to forget. As if some deeper part of this soul knew, truly knew on a level that bypassed logic and reason entirely, that this story was not finished. That there were still chapters left to live. That the ending had not yet been written and it was going to be something worth waiting for. That knowing is not something a person manufactures. You cannot think your way into that kind of faith. It either lives in you or it does not. And in your soulmate it lived, deep and steady and completely certain of itself, even when nothing in the visible world was confirming it. Now I want to talk to you about something that might feel a little tender. I want to talk about the fears that you have been carrying, the ones that have made it hard to fully open yourself to love. Not because I want to stir them up, but because part of what heaven has been doing in this season is specifically working to heal them. And when something is being healed, it often rises to the surface first. That is not a sign that things are getting worse. That is a sign that things are finally getting better. Maybe you have been afraid of being chosen and then unchosen. Maybe you have loved before with everything you had and found yourself standing in the ruins of something that felt like it should have lasted and did not. Maybe you learned somewhere along the way, through experience or through the subtle messages of the world around you, that it is safer to be a little guarded. That opening your heart all the way just gives people more room to disappoint you. That it is wiser to hold something back, to protect yourself, to keep part of you private and untouched and safe. If any of that resonates, I want you to know something. Heaven understands. Your guardian angel understands. The experiences that taught you those protective habits were real, and your response to them was not weakness, it was wisdom. It was your heart doing the best it could to keep you safe during seasons when safety felt like the most important thing. But that season is shifting. The protective walls that once served you are now becoming barriers to the very thing your heart most wants. And part of what the divine work that has been happening in your life lately has been doing is gently, carefully, with infinite compassion, helping those walls come down. Not all at once, not in a way that leaves you exposed and vulnerable, but slowly, naturally, at exactly the pace that is right for you. You may not have been able to name it until now, but you have probably felt it. The softening, the moments of unexpected openness, the times when something touched your heart more deeply than usual, and instead of retreating you just let it. The sense that you are somehow more yourself lately than you have been in a while. More willing to hope, more willing to feel, more willing to believe that something good is still possible for you. That is not accidental. That is grace. That is the answer to a prayer spoken on your behalf. Your soulmate asked for this. They asked that your healing be tended to, that the fears that might keep you from receiving this love be gently transformed, that you arrive at this moment not armored against love but open to it. Not because your soulmate needed you to be perfectly healed before they could love you. They love you as you are, completely. But because they wanted you to be able to feel it. They wanted you to have the capacity to receive it without the old fears drowning it out. They wanted this love to have a real chance to land and take root and grow into everything it is meant to become. And so heaven worked on both of you at the same time. Two souls being prepared for each other, each in their own process, each at their own pace, but both being guided toward the same destination. Toward each other, toward something real, toward the life that was always written in the stars for you. There is something I want to tell you about the nature of divine timing, because I know it can be one of the most challenging things to make peace with. When you want something, when you can feel it in your bones that it is meant for you, the waiting can feel almost impossible. Can feel cruel, even. You might catch yourself asking, why not now? Why not already? If this love is real, if it is meant, why has it taken so long to arrive? Here is what I want you to understand. Divine timing is not about withholding. It is about preparing. Every moment of waiting that has felt empty was actually full of growth, full of healing, full of the quiet inner work that was making you ready for the depth of love that is coming toward you. You were not being denied. You were being developed, shaped, strengthened, made into the version of yourself that could truly hold and honor and cherish what is about to arrive. Think about it this way. A seed does not grow faster because you are impatient for the flower. It grows at exactly the pace it needs to grow. Push it and you damage it. Leave it in the right conditions, water, light, time, and it becomes something extraordinary. What has been growing in you and in your soulmate through this period of waiting is not fragile or small. It is deep-rooted and strong and ready to bloom in a way that nothing rushed could ever have been. Before this message goes deeper into your heart, pause and check the channel name carefully. Some people are stealing and reposting our content, but copied messages do not carry the same positive spiritual energy. Stay connected to the original source, Angel's Message for You channel with the black logo base. And now, let your angels speak to you. You have both been in the growing season, and the blooming is now. I also want to speak to you about something that might feel surprising. Your soulmate has been doing their own inner work through this season. It was not all longing and prayer and emotional intensity. There was also a very real process of personal growth happening, of facing things that needed to be faced, healing things that needed to be healed, growing into the version of themselves that could show up for you fully. Because love is not just a feeling, it is a practice. It is a daily, ongoing commitment to showing up for yourself and for the person you love, with honesty and with care. And the person who is coming toward you has been doing that work. Not perfectly, not without struggle, but with intention and with sincerity and with the consistent, grounded determination of someone who knows what they want and is willing to become the person who deserves it. That is what you are being met with, not a project, not someone who needs you to save them or fix them or carry their healing for them. Someone who has done the work, who is still doing the work, who is committed to growing and learning and becoming, and who wants to do all of that alongside you rather than before they can be with you or instead of being with you. Someone who sees partnership not as a destination you arrive at when everything is finally perfect, but as a living, breathing, evolving journey that you choose together every day. That is a rare and precious thing. Do not take it lightly when it arrives. Now I want to take a moment and speak directly to your heart about what I want you to do when the signs start appearing. Because they will. Maybe some of them already have and you dismissed them. Maybe you caught yourself wondering and then talked yourself out of it. Maybe you felt that flutter of recognition and let the logical mind step in and explain it away. From this point forward, pay attention. Stay curious. When something catches your heart in that inexplicable way, do not rush to explain it. Let it be what it is. Let yourself feel it. Let the feeling tell you what it knows. When a song comes on and suddenly it feels like it was written exactly for this moment, that is not coincidence. When a conversation turns unexpectedly to exactly the subject that is most alive in your heart right now, that is not random. When you wake up from a dream with a feeling you cannot quite describe but that lingers with you all day, soft and warm and somehow significant, that is communication. That is the universe speaking to you in the language it knows you will hear. Begin to collect these moments, not obsessively, not anxiously, but with a kind of joyful attention. As if you are a person who knows something wonderful is coming and you are watching for the earliest signs of its arrival, the way you might watch a horizon for the first light of a sunrise. With anticipation, with peace, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that what is coming is already guaranteed, that all they have to do is stay open and it will arrive in its own perfect time. Because here is the truth about spiritual certainty. It does not depend on circumstances. It does not need everything to line up in the physical world before it can exist. It lives in a place that is deeper than circumstance, deeper than what is visible, deeper than what can be measured or proven or explained. It lives in the knowing, and the knowing is yours. Your soulmate has lived in that knowing through seasons that would have convinced most people to doubt. They held it like a flame, protecting it from the winds of uncertainty, feeding it with faith when there was no other fuel available. And now that flame has grown into something that nothing can extinguish. It is steady, it is strong, it is patient, and it is coming directly toward you, carrying with it all the warmth and light of every season it survived to reach this moment. Let me share something that I want you to carry with you long after you finish reading this. You deserve a love that chooses you on purpose. Not a love that settles for you because it ran out of other options. Not a love that tolerates you or occasionally appreciates you or shows up when it is convenient. A love that wakes up every morning and actively, consciously, joyfully chooses you. A love that sees your whole self, the parts you are proud of and the parts you are still working on, and says yes wholeheartedly, completely, without reservation. That is not too much to ask for. That is not some idealistic fantasy that only exists in stories. That is real. That kind of love exists. And it is the exact kind of love that is making its way to you right now, because it has already existed quietly and persistently in the heart of someone who has been waiting for the chance to show you. You have spent enough time wondering if you are enough. You are. You have spent enough time shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable or questioning whether your heart's desires are realistic or reasonable. They are. You have spent enough time standing at the edge of love with one foot in and one foot out, wondering if it is safe to step all the way in. It is safe. Not because the future is guaranteed to be perfect. Nothing in human life comes with that promise. But because the love that is coming toward you is grounded in something real enough and strong enough to navigate what is not perfect. Because the person who is coming toward you has already proven, through seasons of quiet faithfulness, that they are not going anywhere when things get complicated. They stayed when staying was hard. They kept believing when believing took effort. And they will bring that same steadiness into the shared life they are so ready to build with you. You are at a turning point. You can feel it, even if you do not have the exact words for it yet. Something in the energy of your days has shifted. Something in the way you are moving through the world feels a little different. Lighter, more alive, more expectant. That is not your imagination running away with you. That is your soul responding to what is approaching. That is your energy field already beginning to align with what is on its way. Lean into that. Trust it. Let it carry you forward. And when this love arrives, when you look at this person and something deep in you says, "There you are. I have been waiting for you," do not talk yourself out of it. Do not reach for the old armor. Do not let the voice of past hurt convince you that something this good cannot possibly be real or last or be meant for you. Let it be real. Let it last. Let it be yours. Heaven has already said yes. Your soulmate has already said yes. The only voice left to answer is yours. And from the deepest, truest, most spiritually connected place in your being, I believe you already know what you want to say. You are loved, dear one. You are seen. You are protected. You are cherished by forces greater than anything this physical world can fully contain. And you are standing right at the threshold of something extraordinary. Walk through. The love you have always deserved is waiting just on the other side. With all the light and grace and infinite love of heaven, your guardian angel is with you. Now and always, in every moment, in every breath, in every step forward on this beautiful path that is uniquely and completely yours. Amen.